Hi, it's Lindsey Burt again here from Behind the Wheel in Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. God speaking to Joshua, who is now the new leader of a lot of people. Moses had gone, and Joshua had taken on responsibilities that things really he had never done by himself before. Apprehensive, I'm sure he was. God speaks to him, and God says, be strong, be courageous, don't be afraid. I am with you wherever you go. Some of you need to hear that today. Maybe you're doing something new. Maybe you're trying something you've never tried before. Maybe you're walking a path that you've never walked before. Maybe taking on responsibilities that you've never taken on before. There's a little bit of apprehension, maybe a fear, maybe afraid that you're not going to succeed at what is at hand for you. And I believe God would speak to you today, and God would say, as he did to Joshua, be strong, be courageous, don't be afraid, fear not, for I am with you, and I will go with you wherever you're going, and I will help you be successful in the task that lays ahead of you or is at hand. Some days may seem very ordinary. Some days may seem very joyful, joyous days. Some days may feel heavy. Some days, for some of you, may feel just unbearable. But remember this, God is with you. And I'm sure that's easier said than sometimes experienced. I'll say that again, sometimes that's easier said than the reality of the experience of experiencing God is with us, because sometimes we don't feel anything when it comes to God being with us, and we can't go by feelings. We should not go by feelings. We should go by the word of the Lord. And he says, I am with you even unto the very end. I mentioned that in a previous Behind the Wheel. And so I want to encourage you today, continue to pray, continue to read the Word of God, continue to devote yourself to obedience to His Word, and continue to live in relationship with Him, not just in your prayer times or church times, but through all the course of the day. Just be open to the leading of the Spirit of the Lord and talk to Him. He is there with you in your car when you drive, at your desk, at your job. And so you can communicate with the Lord. You can be talking to Him really all day long and communing with Him, the author and the finisher of your faith. When a seed is planted in the ground, it takes a while before we see it sprout through the soil and the fruit to grow on that particular tree. And so it is in our own personal growth sometimes. The seed of the Word of God and the work that God is doing in our life, sometimes it's not seen immediately. Matter of fact, most times it's not seen immediately. But just as that seed it's happening, it's working in the ground, and it's coming forward, and it's coming towards the light. So it is in our own maturity and our walk with God. It's growing, it's coming toward the light of God's presence, the light of the reality of who God is. And so we're constantly growing. So don't give up, don't quit, don't throw up your hands in frustration. But continue on, as I said, being faithful in the Word, being faithful in your prayer times, being faithful in your community of faith, and believing that God is working, even sometimes quietly, because He is. Most times it's really quietly. I guess there are those times when we see the dramatic manifestations of what God is doing, but really, most of the time, It's really that quiet work of God who's working in us and developing us to be all that He wants us to be in these days, so that we can be a blessing, an inspiration, and encouragement to those around us. God bless you. Again, Pastor Lindsey Burt here from Behind the Wheel.